For life. Oh yeah!
So the rumor going around the internet is the NWA and CW television deal is apparently not dead in the water after all, which was the last rumor going around the internet involving the NWA. People are saying it's been discovered that WWE did not include a clause to be the only pro wrestling content on the channel, and that the NWA could be featured on the channel along with WWE as the CW network looks to switch to a more action and sports focused platform, possibly even on the same night, being featured after NXT concludes. Also worth noting is that the deal with WWE doesn't even begin until October 2024, so Billy Corgan still has ample time to mend the bridge with the CW, if the bridge even needs to be mended at all. Maybe this was just us as fans and wrestling media overreacting to the whole WWE announcement, and Billy Corgan was right after all, and the deal is near completion. Everyone has to admit that the Coke spot was some terribly unfortunate timing and completely unneeded on Corgan's show, however. But maybe it didn't bother the CW at all, and NWA may very well also land on the network. I'll be honest, I would love to see a 3-hour block of NXT followed by NWA every week. It would remind me personally of the good old days in the mid to late 90s and the America One syndicated network, if you remember that. I could watch NWA Wildside, and then there was a wrestling show that followed it that escapes my mind, but then you got then you got ECW for a total of 3 hours, and it was fantastic. Because with 3 different products, you didn't feel burnt out at the end of it, and you got a good dose of wrestling. Unlike 3 straight hours of modern day Raw that works as a great sleep aid if you suffer from insomnia. And I feel like 2 hours of NXT followed by an hour of NWA could be a very similar experience for me and others to that enjoyable one I remember way back when on America One. I don't know. Maybe just wishful thinking. But I'm rooting for Billy Corgan and the NWA. I followed from episode 1 of Power and enjoyed the promotion all the way up to when 2020 hit, even if I didn't agree with the constant various changes taking place within the promotion. After NWA came back, I subscribed to the premium NWA deal on Fight, I think it was even, but I discontinued my subscription due to a number of things. The product being boring and getting worse every episode, the actual events the company was holding, the big events, were not included in the expensive subscription price. Basically, you were just paying for what used to be free on YouTube, and so on and so on. All these problems I had with it. I know it's back on YouTube for free now, and I've heard Billy complain about how little YouTube pays wrestling content creators. But I can't personally comment on that one since I'm not monetized. I know I tried to watch one episode since Power came back on YouTube, and I got maybe 2 minutes in before some of the stuff they were doing over there just completely turned me off, just unnecessary stuff. But just because I don't like the product doesn't mean I don't want to see it and Billy Corgan succeed. I sincerely hope they can land this TV deal and be featured on nationwide network TV alongside NXT. That's huge for the NWA, and that's huge for pro wrestling, and I love pro wrestling. I comment on not liking what they're doing in hopes that one day it changes, and this is a nation of free speech, so I'm free to speak my opinion on things. It isn't being negative, just being an interested critic. Same with AEW and Tony Khan. I would love to see things shape up over there, and that company avoid its impending doom. Like I said, the NXT deal doesn't start until October, so it's going to be very interesting to see how the next few months pan out. I feel like the landscape of the business is changing, and we are all in for quite the ride in 2024.